The hopeful elect are experiencing those things. Every brother in this truth are what? Mini Jobs. Every brother in this truth is a mini Job that's being tested. Okay? For we wrestle not against flesh. You do know this is not a fleshly battle. Because if you to wrestle against flesh, it's a certainty. One man's going to win and one man's going to lose. One man's going to come up with bruises, one man ain't. If you're carnal, you're going to look at it as a physical thing. Right? But against principalities, and principalities, you look at that word, it goes into chief, rulers, dominions, right? Authorities. So the principalities are the authorities of this world. Principalities, spirits on the left hand side that have ruled over what? The rulers of what? This world. That's what a principality is. The highest form of what? Spirits. And against powers. The powers that be. The Rothschilds, these bank and elite families that pray to these spirits on the left hand side. Okay? And against the rulers of darkness of this world. So it says the rulers of darkness of this world. So this means you have individuals on this earth, they rule over darkness. They rule over it. They're intangent. They're intangent with darkness. Okay? So the people of this world, they're in line, basically they're in line with darkness. They operate with darkness. Right? That's why they hate the light of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, in the heavens. So yes, it's spiritual wickedness in high places, in the heavens. If you were to be able to see these particular things, a lot of men would bug out. There's a fight. You do know when you're traveling in your everyday life, if you were to able to see what was happening, you would see angels on the right hand side protecting you. Okay? And you would see angels on the left hand side causing mischief, spirits, unclean spirits. And you would see the right hand spirits guiding you with swords in their hands. Because the scriptures talk about that in Genesis. When they were guarding that tree of life, what did it have? It was a cherubim. A spinning, what, an angel, what, would spin around with what? A sword. A lot of you would collapse. That's why when the prophets saw the angels, they would collapse, they would pass out. Have you ever had it where a situation where you wanted to go to a particular place, but Yahawashi had it where you were not there? You were traveling and the Lord had it where something broke down and you couldn't get to that particular location. Why? Because that was an angel. Didn't want you to go there. Right? That was guarding you. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High Yahawashi, that you may be able to what? Withstand against in the evil day. And the evil day is what? Jacob's trouble. Evil means re in the Hebrew. Re. Bad times, evil times. So everything we've learned, this whole armor, we're going to need it for the times approaching. Because if you think it's bad now, you really ain't seen nothing. Things are only going to get more heavy. That you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. You want to make sure you've done all. You don't want to be that individual, well, all hell breaks loose. Oh, no, I wish I'd done this. I wish I was more brotherly. I wish I'd done... Nope, you want to make sure you're doing everything now. Individuals that are just coming to camp, messing about, you better stop doing that. Stop doing that. But if that's the spirit you have, well, really, ultimately, it's Yahawashi that put the spirit again on the left-hand side for you to do that, to mess around, to not take this truth seriously. Why is it men, they just want to get serious at the Passover? You should have been serious all year round. I've been serious all year round. All year round. Not just at the Passover. Not just of the Day of Atonement. And that's so you can see those that are sincere as well. The Passover is the opportunity to get right. To pass up, to purge at that level. And we're still in the Passover. Right? You're waiting for the Passover. And what after the Passover? You're going to go right back to what? Certain individuals are going to go right back to being wicked. And this is the Passover season. You got men, during the Passover, you got men certain videos I've watched with evil spirits on them, still working mischief. And this is the Passover, this is still the Passover. And you still got men with evil spirits on them. Why? Because Yahawashi has given them over to that. That's why you have to fear Yahawashi. Verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. So it's the truth which we have to be girded with. Girded means what? Protected with. It's what we have to put on. And having on the breastplate. So the breastplate would be what? This word of righteousness. Okay? And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. So that's why the gospels are so important as well. Yahawashi. Because the devil doesn't want you to bring out Yahawashi. And that's how you also know what Satan as well. You got to be able to identify what. You just got to know what would Satan want you not to do. He doesn't want you to mention Yahawashi. He doesn't want you to have faith. Okay? You got to understand the battle. Okay? Satan doesn't want you to have faith. Satan doesn't want you to be brotherly. Satan doesn't want you to study. Okay? Satan wants you to doubt because you can operate on doubt. He has you then. Then you start projecting that out into the body. Satan doesn't want you to go into the gospel of life, the new covenant. That's why certain men, they're denying the new covenant. They don't even speak about the new covenant. Why? Because Satan has overtook their minds. And the new covenant, I want to say this, the new covenant is already established. Right? This whole thing about we're waiting for the new covenant. The new covenant, the scriptures told you, the part of the Passover. Yahawashi said, what did he say? This is my blood, which is what represents the new covenant, which is the new covenant. So as soon as Yahawashi was crucified, that was the beginning of the new covenant, right then. But men think, well, we're waiting for the new... Yes, of course, we're waiting for the new bodies. That's a part of that agreement of the new covenant, that you're going to get new bodies. But the new covenant is established through Yahawashi. Okay? And it's going to come fully into fruition when we have them new bodies. And we're no longer going to be teaching this word with Bibles in our hands on the streets. It's going to be in our mind. That's part of the new covenant. And we're in the new covenant. And the reason why men don't have Yahawashi, because they're saying, well, we don't have the covenant. So if you're saying you don't have the covenant, that means you're not in agreement with Yahawashi. That's what you're saying. You're saying you're not in agreement. That's what the devil wants you to believe. So yes, you can also... Oh man. That will also show you the men that have Satan upon them. If anybody's telling you that, they're bugging out. Okay? A covenant is an agreement, a will, a promise. When you read John 1, and I think it's 4, scriptures talk about those that believed on Yahawashi, he gave them power to become the sons of the Most High. So where was that power? Was it with the new bodies? This power, that power was now, through the Holy Spirit. Right? So those that believe in Yahawashi, they have the power now. And that power is going to be increased. And it's through the new covenant. It's through that promise that you have to believe. You got men saying, we need Yahawashi. If you're saying you need Yahawashi, that means, obviously, well, that you don't have him then. If you're saying we need... So what? What? If you're saying that, that means you don't believe he's dealing with you. Yahawashi is here with his men. He said he would give you the comforter. This whole thing, we need Yahawashi, he's here. He said, I will not leave you comfortless. So if men are saying that, that means that they obviously don't have Yahawashi. That means, what do you have? That's why this is about faith. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherever you shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. So if you don't have faith, that's where you become susceptible to these spirits in the world, all these spirits. So you'll be able to quench. So when you're quenching something, you're putting out them fiery darts. You're quenching it with what? With faith. Without faith, you're susceptible to the wiles of what? Satan, them darts. Okay, of the wicked. And them darts are what? Indicative of what? Devices, plans, schemes. So them darts are what? The schemes of what? The devil. So how do you quench that? With faith. And part of them darts examples. Some of you brothers may watch the highways and byways videos, and it's been videos where the mic has gone funny. There's particular vibrations, demonic vibrations, different frequencies, which Esau pushes out. Different transmitters, because he can even deal with that as well. Okay, and that's some warfare as well. Esau pushes out different frequencies, particular attacks where he attacks the mind through different frequencies, electronical frequencies, electromagnetic fields. He uses that. So that's part of them darts. I've had times where I've done videos and all you can hear is zzz. That's that warfare. I've had times where I'm doing a video and next thing a builder will pull up beside me, right beside me, drilling, doing this. That's them fiery darts. But if you're not spiritual, you're just going to think, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence. No, that's them fiery darts. Esau rings them up. What? Remember, it's Esau that does this. Really, it's a spiritual demon, Satan. You're going to come here, you're going to try it, you're going to do this. He uses people in the world to try and throw you off. And it takes a spiritual man to know what's happening. And you say, well, that's just Satan. That's just used this individual to do that, to try and get you off of your path. He's going to use everything around you. He's going to use your woman. Why don't you spend enough time with me? She'll be in that spirit. Right? She'll start getting jealous. Because you're spending more time with what? Sophia, wisdom, than her. Even your children. Your children will make you feel like you're not a good father. Because you're not catering to them. You know, might start crying. Okay. Well, my father, he doesn't spend enough time with me. He doesn't love me. Satan's going to even use you. This way you can't be emotional. All these different things. You know, your father, your mother, oh, they don't really, since he's read that Bible, he doesn't really care. No, it's just that we put the truth first. You got to be spiritual in this truth. If you're not strong, you got to have a strong mind. You got to have strong mental fortitude. Excuse me. Everything around you, he's going to use against you. Everything. And it says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. Okay? Which is the word of the Most High. So the sword is this word. So when particular situations come up, you apply the scriptures straight away. Don't wait after. Don't wait till afterwards, because then what good is it? You all right? All that temptation, everything now you're putting out the scriptures. Well, why didn't you do that then? That moment when it was needed, huh? And praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. And that's why prayer is so important. Continue to pray continually. And guess what? Another wile of the devil is you're praying. And guess what Satan's whole job is? To have you believe that Yahawashi is not hearing your prayer. You know, you may to pray and you may feel, oh, well, he ain't hearing. And Satan will get in the way and start saying, nah, shut up. He ain't listening to you. You're not worth it. That's Satan's whole job. To tell you you're not worthy. You're not going to make it. You've done too much sin. You're too sin laden. That's his job. You're praying. He ain't hearing you. You remember what you done? You just went off. You went off a week ago. You know? You just looked at someone's woman. You just looked at somebody else's woman. Not knowing she was married. Okay? You just done this. That's Satan's whole job. Okay, that's why you gotta be spiritual in that world. That's Satan. Right? Okay? You thinking evil thoughts about your brother. Evil thoughts. And not, the scriptures are true. Not every brother is a brother. Because yes, you have demons in this truth that have crept in unaware. But what did the scripture says? Give no place unto the devil. Because if a brother ain't a brother, if a brother ain't right, you do believe in Yahawashi, right? So you got to believe. If a man ain't right, he ain't going to endure. He ain't going to last. Yahawashi's going to weed him out. The Lord Yahawashi is going to expose him. Not to be a brother. Okay? So you got to believe in those things. Okay? Scripture says, give no place unto the devil. In Ephesians what, 4? Give no place. So if you can see a man, this man may be a potential member of the elect. If Satan starts putting thoughts in your head, and this is what men don't do, they don't fight. They don't fight them demons. Or a particular situation may have happened between you and a brother, and Satan is now, he's going to use the opportunity. Bear with me just a minute. Now Satan's going to use the opportunity. Remember when you had the argument? Yeah, remember what he said. Now Satan's going to play on your mind. And if you're not fighting that, because remember, bear with me just a minute. Now let's go into Jeremiah. Quickly go into Jeremiah. So much is on my mind. Jeremiah 17. This is a heavy topic. Go to Jeremiah 17 and 9. Okay. The scripture says the heart is deceitful above all things. The heart goes into mind, alarm. So even our own minds. And that's one thing you can't escape, is your own mind, because you live in your mind. You can't run away from who you are. Okay. Jeremiah 17 and 9, the heart is deceitful above all things. Our own minds, where our thought process, where your thoughts come, where you're thinking every single day. So all your thoughts, how are they filtered? How do you filter out the evil, bad thoughts, what ain't right, what is right? Through the scriptures. Right? So if you're thinking ill, if you're dealing ill with your brother, you gotta know that's Satan. I hate him, I hate my brother, you wanna take his woman. You wanna scheme on him. You wanna plot on him. You wanna do him harm. That's Satan. That's why you gotta be spiritual. A lot of men, they're not really spiritual. They pick up the Bible, but they're not really spiritual as far as it comes from having the Holy Spirit. They're not really spiritual. That's the devil playing on your mind, right? And desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's why you got to filter everything through the scriptures. And if it's not in line with the scriptures, well, that's the devil, right? Excuse me. Bear me just a minute. And that's why men, over time, what they get overcome because they don't rebuke Satan. Okay. Bear me, I'm just looking for something. Just a minute. You're not ready for them demons. You don't fight. You don't talk to them spirits, man. You don't talk to them spirits. You don't go back and forth with them. You shut them out. Okay, because these spirits they're like portals, man. You don't open the door to them. You close the door to them. Bear me just a minute. They're like portals. They're like open portals, open doors. Now you're going to be saying things and doing things you shouldn't be saying. And saying things, particular things to brothers they shouldn't be saying. Why? Because you weren't examining yourself. Therefore what? You're a reprobate. Bear me just a minute. See if I can find it. That's why I always say this is more than just you just going out into the highways and byways. The scriptures are so much more than that. That's a huge part of the truth. But the scriptures are more than that. Okay, or just getting together, eating chicken and talking shit. Scriptures are more than that. Right? So now we're going to go to Ecclesiastes 2 and 24. For many are deceived. Many are deceived. Tricked. By who? The devil. By their own vain opinion. And men that have that spirit, guess what ends up happening to them? They end up what? Teaching different philosophies, giving heed to seducing spirits, because they were deceived by their own vain opinion. That's why you can't be emotional. Emotions lead to what? A vain opinion. So when you have someone saying, well, I just feel like, bro, no, stop that. Stop that. See, the devil wants you to feel, I feel, and nothing's wrong with having feelings, because as men, we have feelings. King David had feelings. Yahawashi had feelings. But you filtered in feelings through the scriptures. Because Satan will also use that against you as well. Your feelings. I'm having a bad day. I'm going to take it out on the brothers. That's Satan. Right? Because Yahawashi wasn't thinking like that. Yahawashi had bad times. But he was not taking it out on the brothers. He wasn't taking it out on his disciples. And you have men that do that. You have men that do that. You got men in this truth that only use this truth as a springboard because the hell they're catching from Esau at work. Okay, so they will use the truth to go out into the highways and byways and say, Esau, he's putting hell on me. I'm going to use this truth as a springboard to curse out Esau because he's putting hell on me. Or because they're having a bad time with their woman. Bro, if you're doing that, the Lord's just going to get rid of you. And they start taking it out on brothers. Don't do that. And I've witnessed these things in the truth. I've witnessed these things. Then when they catch a bit of hell, they're phoning up everybody else. Oh, bro, how do I deal with this? Bro, you got to figure it out. You have to figure that out. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. So you can't have an opinion, right? Scripture says, let every man be fully persuaded in their own mind. You have to know the truth. And an evil suspicion. So that evil suspicion comes through a vain opinion. Because the opinion is not truth. So opinion causes what? An evil suspicion. Right? And an evil suspicion, guess what comes? You saying things that you should not be saying through an evil suspicion. And that's why the scriptures also says, my son, meddle not with many matters. You see things going on, you have no idea about it. You just go in with hearsay. You could get people destroyed along with yourself. And an evil suspicion have overthrown your judgment. And that's how your judgment gets overthrown. All along, it was just you tripping. You were tripping all along because you weren't being spiritual. You see? This is heavy. And Yahawashi controls both sides. So now we went into that. We went into Job 1. We went into James 2 and 9. We went to Matthew 2 as well. And now we're going to go into Proverbs 6. Before we go to Proverbs 6, Isaiah 47. Proverbs 6 and 12. Okay. Let's go to Proverbs 6 and 21 first. For the ways of man are before the eyes of Lord Yahawashi. So Yahawashi sees everything. There's nothing that's hidden. There's nothing that man's doing or woman's doing that they think, oh no, Yahawashi can't see. I'm hiding behind the wall. No. Yahawashi sees everything. Even before you thought that thought, even before everything. And he pondereth all his goings, right? All your doings he pondereth. He sees. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself. So everything Esau and the wicked intend to do, they're going to be taken with that. And he shall be holding with the cord of his sins. The wicked are my people. He shall die without instruction. That's why it's good to take heed to these words. And in the greatness of his folly shall he go astray. That goes to those that don't want to take heed to these words. Jump straight to this one. I want to go to James, so like Proverbs 6 and 12. And the scriptures give away a witch and a naughty, wicked man. These are the attributes of a wicked man. A naughty person. A naughty person is always someone that's up to mischief, that has a spirit of wickedness upon them, in them. A wicked man walketh with a froward mouth. Okay, a froward is what? Someone that's corrupt. Okay, perverse. You could have a perverse tongue, right? He winketh with his eyes. Okay, so he's winking with his eyes, what? To cause mischief. Okay. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. And you even got men, you even got elderly men, even in the ranks. I'm not going to call out any names, right? You may even have particular bishops that are doing that as well. He teacheth with his hands. Okay, see, you have witches, you have people that do that. Witches do that a lot. They teach with their hands. Okay. To what? To confuse you. It's really deception. Okay, it's really sorcery. It's tricks. Okay, it's wizardry. Okay. He teaches with his fingers and with his feet. Okay? He doesn't want you to really pay attention to what he's saying. He wants you to pay attention to what the theatrics. Okay? Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. Okay? He soweth discord. So you got men that always sowing discord amongst the brotherhood. And that's another one of Satan's tricks, the devil's tricks, is to break up the brotherhood. And the brotherhood are those that are doing the will of Yahawashi. It's not anyone. It's those that are doing the will of Yahawashi. Okay? Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. So men like that, you're going to see the calamity come. Just look. Just be patient. Okay? Just be patient. Remember, we're still in the Passover. You're going to see when particular men get judged severely, you're going to know it was Yahawashi that done it. And you're going to know why. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. So it's going to be, remedy is what? Healing. So it's going to be without healing. Because the warning was there, and these men, they didn't want to stop. Verse 16, these things doth the Lord hate, Yahawashi hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. Okay? A proud look, someone that has a very, very proud countenance. A lying tongue, someone that lies all the time. Okay? And hands that shed innocent blood. Okay? And that's the spirit of Cain. So in other words, those that hate their brothers. A heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. He's looking how he can cause someone to fall. Feet that be swift into running into mischief. You're always looking what? To do some wickedness. A false witness that speaketh lies. What's that? A slander. And these are all traits of the devil. So yes, you have men, Israelites, that have the spirit of what? The devil in them. Okay? And he that soweth discord among brethren. Because that's the devil's whole MO. To break up the brotherhood. Okay? And obviously there is things going on. And you can't mistake that for someone that's pointing out particular things. Like something may not be right. So if someone tells you there's agents within the camps, which I've done particular videos that there's agents within camps, especially in Great Millstone. There's a bag of agents in Great Millstone. There's a bag of spies in Great Millstone. I've been telling you that, right? I've been telling you those things. But guess what? Particular elderly men, they're not going to speak on it because them agents are set up to cause confusion, to keep you confused, to take your eyes off what? Yahawashi. So those that are part of this world, they're not really going to be teaching you that, okay? Because they're set up, them agents were brought in to cause confusion, to not bring you to Yahawashi, to get you away from Yahawashi, to cause confusion. Okay? How is it you've been in the truth 15, 20 years, but you can't see these things? I haven't been in the truth that long. I can see all these things. Okay? But you can't see it. It's either Yahawashi hasn't given you that discernment, or you're playing dumb. Or you're a part of that wickedness. Okay? Why is it when I say that there's agents, there's guys that are not right in the truth, there's a problem? But when the elder apostle, it could be an elder apostle says it, well, men don't say anything. But when a younger brother says there's a problem, you can't say that. Why is it when I say there's men claiming to be in the truth, doing witchcraft, doing sacrifices, left-hand sacrifices, there's a problem? You can't say that. But how comes when somebody else says it of rank, you take heed? Because there's a respect of persons. Go and shut off in a few more scriptures. The end of the day, Yahawashi is in control of everything. Let's go to Isaiah 47, and your witchcraft ain't gonna work. You're only deceiving yourself. Let's go to Isaiah 45 and 7. Right? And you know when a man's really heavy into that juju or witchcraft, because his face it turns pale. Right? There's a particular look a man has as well. He turns pale. When people are into left hand stuff, their face turns pale. It could turn pale and it turns dark. They have a really dark countenance. They have dark bags, really dark, crusty. It's like a crusty bags underneath their eyes. That's a sign of someone that's really, really into witchcraft and tarot cards, all those things. Bear me just a minute. See, I'm not ignorant to these things. Okay. Yahawashi gives these men what discernment to know these things. Let's go to Isaiah 45. Right? Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. So who does that? Yahawashi. Light, physical light. It's daytime right now. It's sunny. A bit breezy, but it's sunny. It's daytime. It's Yahawashi that does that. Forms the light. Okay. And I create darkness. And also that light is all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He gives it. He forms it. And I create darkness. So even within the darkness, wickedness that goes on, he also forms that. Okay. I make peace. Okay. Reconciliation, peace, tranquility. And I create evil. Okay. So even with evil that goes on, it's Yahawashi that creates that. Both sides of the coins, both sides of the spectrum. So when you see men doing evil, well, who do you think creates that? It's Yahawashi. Okay. I the Lord do all these things. So when you see men with evil spirits on them, it's Yahawashi that does that. Okay. So now we went to that. A few more scriptures and we're going to shut off. Now let's go to Psalms 125 and 3. Before we go to 125 and 3. Yes, 125 and 3. Then we go to Acts 16 and 16. Psalms 125 and 3. Excuse me. It says, the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. So the rod of the wicked is chastisement of the wicked. And you know when the hopeful elect go off, Yahawashi sends adversaries to what? Chasten us. Okay? And them spells, them curses that the witches and the warlocks do, and the wicked of our people, they will work only if the righteous, lest the righteous put, let's read that again, for the rod of the wicked, the punishment of the wicked, the rod of the wicked, the chastisement of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. A lot of the witches, you think they don't read that scripture. So the witches will know, hold on a minute. For them to prevail, they would need you to go off. For their spells to work, they would need you to go off. So these witches and warlocks, they also study your vices. They call it kryptonites. They study your weaknesses. So whatever your weakness is, they will prey upon that weakness. Okay? They will prey upon that weakness. So if you fall short to that weakness, that's when they start putting up the curses. That's when they start putting up them spells. And they will use them particular vices, them weaknesses, as what? As a form of what? Power. On the left hand side. Okay? This is why you got to understand what you're dealing with. Okay? And Esau knows that. And that's why Esau what? Perpetuates what? Sin. Because he knows, well, if we can get those Israelites to go off, that's when we can start putting up them curses, putting up them sins. So Esau wants to keep you in a perpetual state of sin. He wants to keep our people in that state. Okay? But ultimately, the scriptures do say there is no enchantment against the sons of Jacob. Okay, it's vain. So now let's quickly go to Acts 16 and 16, an example of that woman with divination. And since I've been teaching this word, I've met many people, I've conversed, and that's the thing about experience. You meet different people with different spirits on them. Okay? You're gonna meet people with different spirits. Okay? And you're gonna meet people with what? Divination spirits, women. A lot of people have come across, even across a lot of women with divining spirits on them. Okay? And a lot of people that are into divinity, they like to wear shades. Okay? I'm not talking about all, but a lot of people that are into divinity, they like to wear shades. Okay? Let's go to Acts 16 and go straight to 16. And it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel. Okay? Damsel just means young lady. Okay? Possessed with a spirit of divination met us. Who? Paul. Okay? So she was possessed, she was controlled, she had the spirit of divination. She must have dealt with what? Tarot cards. Okay, and other things as well. Okay? A certain damsel possessed with the spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. Okay? And soothsaying is basically reading what? The reading of spirits and so forth. Okay? The spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. Because there's gain in it. Okay? People make money off it. Okay? The same followed Paul and us, cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High. So she was loud. Okay? She was letting everybody know. You know? These are the servants, okay, of the Most High power, which show unto us the way of salvation. Okay? And this did she many days. So she kept on doing it. She was putting a spotlight upon Paul and Silas and them helpers. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahawashi Mashiach to come out of her. Okay? Because remember, it was an unclean spirit. Even though she acknowledged, that shows you them spirits, even them spirits and wicked spirits, they acknowledge Yahawashi, they acknowledge the true what? Prophets of the Lord. And he came out that same hour. And when her master saw that the hope of her gains was gone. So that means even within this society, okay, even within this society, even those that make gain out of witchcraft and sorcery, because that's manipulation. Because even within sorcery and it's manipulation. So there's people that make gain out of what? Manipulation. So to keep followers, what would you need to do if you're wicked? Use manipulation. So there's also sorcerers that are in this truth. There's sorcerers. Okay. And hope of her gains was gone, and they caught Paul and Silas and drew them into the marketplace unto the rulers. So they were upset at Paul, okay, and Silas, okay, and brought them into the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe. Okay, being Romans, because you always had that people, what were they obsessed with? Okay, being under the Roman what? System. Okay, and their gains were what? Being messed up. Okay, so their whole system was what? Being brought down. So when you expose this world, when you're about truth, you're also what? Exposing the system. Okay, that's what happens. You're exposing what? The manipulation. So manipulation, sorcery, it keeps the lies afloat. It keeps this system afloat. Okay? And that's what we're bringing down. That's what the truth is for, to bring that down. Now let's go to Isaiah 45. We shut off. Didn't think this lesson would go on for this long. Let's go to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47. And where was it? Get straight to the point. Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two things shall come, okay, to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood, which shall come upon thee in the perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for great abundance of thy enchantments. And this is when the missiles hit America, which is Babylon. And the sorceries of the great abundance of the enchantment. So America is heavy into enchantment and sorceries that are pushed out in what? The four corners of what? The globe. Okay? Because that's where it gets what is power. For thou has trusted in thy wickedness, that has said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Wherefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not put it off. Right? It's going to come all of a sudden. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. The desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which shall thou not know. Stand now with thy enchantments, okay? And with the multitude of thy sorceries. In other words, let's see if that's going to make you able to stand. Let's see if that's going to be your foundation. Okay? And the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Okay? Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. So this shows you, yes, you have those of the wicked, they are having counsels, okay, on the left hand side. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, because this is what Esau used. Just like Herod. Herod had all that. Well, what do you think the elites of today have? They have all these things. Okay? And prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. But the thing is, it's not going to save them. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before. For thus shall they be unto thee whom thou hast laboured, even the merchants from thy youth. Thou shalt wonder every one for him his own quarter, none shall save thee. So the witches and warlocks, they're going to leave you desolate. They're not going to give you any answers. And Esau, they're running out of answers. Because they're still getting answers from Satan, but Satan is running out. Okay? The idols are not answering them. Okay? So with this, I hope this is edifying. And yes, this is part of what the spiritual realm and Yahawashi controls both sides, the right and the left. Until the next time, Shalom.